Hey you, welcome back to the channel, and it's time for an Electroneum video today. So this is a very cool article. It's talking about Electroneum, talking about the gig economy, and for a lot of the naysayers in cryptocurrency who don't like Electroneum, it's pretty interesting they're being featured in these Forbes articles, and that they're kind of going around and making an impact with the cryptocurrency space to the rest of the world. And this is very important because Electroneum is starting to really prove that these are solutions that cryptocurrency can provide. And, again, going back to the ideas I've always given, understanding the difference between the casino, the speculation, and lasting products that are really going to work and be significant. So I want to read the article. I think it's important that we read it. And so, entitled "Get Ready, Everything You Know About the Gig Economy is About to Change," and this is from Lauren DeLisa Coleman, a contributor. Um, the side hustle. Oh, having a little trouble getting that. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. The side hustle era is truly upon us as more Americans, especially many millennials, seem to struggle to pay just standard bills like food, rent, and childcare. The gig economy has been said to provide a much needed supplement to help make ends meet. The wealth gap is such a growing and prominent part of our current cultural narrative that Democratic presidential hopefuls from Andrew Yang to Senator Kamala Harris have put forth ideas to alleviate the situation by introducing everything universal basic income to propose $6,000 annual tax credit. While this and other proposed ideas play out on demand, work surges amid such actions as policymakers in California work feverishly to formalize the gig economy in a more stringent manner with the hope of creating a more fair offering for workers, much to the chagrin of those well entrenched in the space. As the base protests and policies mount, this side hustle trend will only grow due to continual rise in prices in our society. Undoubtedly, this situation presents greater challenges, but also new opportunities, all in the name of the gig. Now, look how interesting this article is. Look how it goes into, it talks about the state of affairs in our economy. Talks about Andrew Yang, Kamala Harris. Now, if you watch the channel, you probably know that like 90% of my channel talks about Andrew Yang. You probably know I started my own cryptocurrency that has the element of a universal basic income token in it. And this is all very interesting because you see now the sign of the times and how the world is now moving to these things to where people need extra money, right? People are going to be needing to do extra gigs, right? You know, in America, what we call a gig is a little task or a job or something, right? So it's becoming that important. And this industry is projected to double, right? So from like 200 billion to like 400 plus $billion. So this is what's happening, and this is why the gig economy is so important. Can be such a great case for cryptocurrency. I somewhat feel vindicated in this because when I looked at the situation that was happening and looked for situations with cryptocurrency, and I came up with this idea. A lot of people were going, well, you know, universal basic income is never going to work. That's a silly idea. But things are changing. Some of the best economists in the world are coming forward now and saying that it will work and that it is deceptive to say it doesn't work. That is many reasons why it will work. And presidential candidates are now pushing leading presidential candidates and other candidates copying other candidates on the universal basic income idea is happening, right? So it is that serious. And So I think these are things we really need to pay attention to. If you've kind of dialed them before or not paid much attention to them in the past, maybe now is the time to do that. So let's continue on with the article. What is interesting to note, however, is that the side hustle concept is far from existence only in the United States. In fact, it's growing as a worldwide phenomenon thanks to the digital era. All one has to do is scan Fiverr.com, the site known for delivering freelancers who specialize in any and everything from editing your mixtape to designing your logo for less. For a few minutes to see that the bids are ready to roll from people from around the world. However, the growing issue has been about receiving payment easily, which is, of course, always the end game. These digital, oftentimes millennial entrepreneurs are typically relying upon PayPal and or extensions of the traditional banking system. But this message, or rather method, exacerbates the income earning situation for what the World Bank estimates at nearly 1.7 billion unbanked people in the world. People have always been able to learn a new skill, but there was no outlet for selling the skill globally. That overcomes the unbanked situation, explains Richard Ells, the entrepreneur behind the 23-year-old the award-winning e-commerce and search engine optimization platform Site Wizard, as well as Retortal, the social media monitoring tool used by such giant corporations as Unilever. So Els has been hard at work to create an infrastructure that would enable anyone to list a skill for sale on anytask.com. Via the new platform, anyone globally could purchase digital skills such as custom video messages, logo design, translation, social media content, and thousands of others, giving new meaning to the term gig economy. The site even handles translation between users so that no one needs to speak or understand English. Once booked, then payment is handled via blockchain capabilities. Skills are purchased using a credit card, and sellers are paid in a new digital asset called Electroneum. This means the buyer can pay normally while the seller can receive payment in a fully accessible form. L's mission was to offer instant global transactions via smartphone with no fees and at a no transaction cost that are fully KYC and AML compliant. He believes he now realized his vision with this platform. Sellers can use their ETN with a growing number of merchants to purchase services and staples such as food and energy without using banks. Any task will launch in just a few weeks and will pull from that company claims is the already 3.2 million users who have already signed up for Electroneum in various countries and are busy doing things like topping up their mobile phone airtime and dial directly via the app in Brazil and more. In attempts to maximize transparency, the company has even enabled the ability to view real-time updates of registered users. Based in the UK, Electroneum is actually backed by a $41 million ICO from 2 years ago, which the company says still holds the record for the largest numbers of participants and an ICO, clocking in at 115,000. The challenge now, however, is to leverage this into a technologically efficient brand that takes and oftentimes cultural hardship of earning a living and making it an opportunity to connect people and provide outlets where individuals can feel value. No doubt there will be the typical discrepancies between buyers and sellers or outright scams, but Anytask is undaunted. In fact, L says that the biggest challenges to date have been developing a system where buyers of gigs on Anytask can pay seamlessly with credit or debit cards, and the seller receives payment in Electroneum with no fees to them. While this is a platform for anyone in the world, L says we're always on the lookout for people in developing countries and living in poverty. We've managed to partner with companies that helped us to provide outreach about the site of these demographics. He continues also messaging communication between sellers and buyers who speak different languages has been a huge challenge. And so we're happy to be able to now offer that. So many people are struggling now, no matter what country you're talking about. Our goal at Anytask is to be a true bridge to greater earnings, no matter where where are you in the world, or what your circumstances might be. So that's a pretty long article done by Laura DeLisa Coleman. But I thought it was worth the read. I wanted to really see what was going on with you guys. So we got to learn the importance of where this gig economy is going, just how it's going to work. And many of us already knew how the AnyTask plan was going to work, but we also got to shine a light on the importance of why the gig economy is becoming so important. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I turned off my notifications. So we're getting to see why it is so very important, right? Through this article. Also want to highlight and talk about the task school. So we understand that with a gig economy, this is going to be a way to actually utilize Electroneum as this currency that trades skills for labor. Because remember, one of the main concerns, one of the big topics that we were getting from a lot of naysayers was that, hey, you're giving away all this free money. The price is tanking down. Where's the value in that? Well, we're understanding now the value of that is in their skills now being traded for Electroneum, right? Money is not actually something that creates value. It is a representation of the value we create from our labor, our output, and skills. So it only makes sense that people in the East and other countries around the world have valuable skills, right? Doesn't matter if they're unbanked. Doesn't matter if they don't have a dime in their pocket. They still have skills that equal labor, right, and are valuable. So we have to start from there with that. Now, there are situations where people may not have skills that are needed to perform some of these valuable tasks that will be needed on any task system. And that's what brings us up to speed with the task school. So free of charge, anybody anywhere in the world is going to be able to learn digital skills in certain levels, right? So they'll probably have something like a basic level, an intermediary, and then going to advanced. And then they're going to be able to get these skills free online with the task school. And now they've become valuable, productive parts of the Electroneum ecosystem. Right now, people can go out with Electroneum and hire them to perform skills, right? They can move that value back and forth. So this is just extraordinary, right? It is the Electroneum team. It is very underrated. It is presenting a fantastic case on how cryptocurrency can be used and how value can be created within this token and globally. But not only globally, AnyTask is going to actually, at some point in the future, be local as well. So this is going to work kind of like reminiscent of these temp job services where people can perform tasks locally. They'll still be paid. The businesses that hire them will pay out through the Electroneum. But how it'll work, they can just use their credit cards like how they're used to paying, as we covered in last video. So it won't be any kind of crazy misunderstanding about they need to learn how to use crypto to get the crypto value to these people. Electroneum, the company, will take the payment from their Visa, MasterCards, and then they will take that money and purchase the Electroneum or distribute the Electroneum, right, to the task workers, right? So that's just going to be fantastic. Just a great plan. And so that's what the task school is going to do. So now you're putting more and more and more value into Electroneum, right? Electroneum is a real project, guys. This isn't some pump up coin that flash pumps a week or two. And then it's like trying to catch falling daggers. You're going from place to place to place. You're jumping from coin to coin to coin. This is real use of cryptocurrency to the point where there's a demand. They're creating the demand, right? I'm not even sure how big the demand for Bitcoin is, right? But this is creating a demand with now the 3.2 million users that have already signed up for Electroneum. And the task school is going to create more value. So great project. Electroneum never ceases to amaze me. Just keep in mind that just because a cryptocurrency project price-wise doesn't seem to be performing well, let's keep in mind that these markets are heavily manipulated, right? We don't know who's behind many of these trades. It's still like the wild, wild west and cryptocurrency. So do not put too much stock in that, right? These are early days in crypto, and most starting out projects take a few years to be profitable, right? So we have to consider that. And again, when we see something else happening, we don't really know all the factors that's driving that. So we should be careful. Want to add this in here real quick. Our project, BitcoinMYK.com, doing similar things like Electroneum. It does take a universal basic income project within it that is taken from the tokens that are not claimed by Bitcoin holders, because our project is owned by Bitcoin holders, right? The Bitcoin holders who don't claim their tokens, that goes into our UBI project, our universal basic income project. From the article, you can see the importance of where those areas of discussion are going. Universal basic income, because of this lack of money that people are needing. They're needing to go out and find things like the gig economy. They're needing additional income from things like universal basic income to be able to survive and stay afloat. And so there's a lot going on, guys. And cryptocurrency has a big role to play in what's happening with us. So let's pay attention. Let's make sure we stay in the good projects like Electroneum. Make sure to try our project, which has some similar elements there, and dealing a lot with the situation is in our political system and our economic system. We'll leave a link in the description. You can join free and start earning our cryptocurrency free. But that's all I want to say in this video. If you all like content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and until next time, take care.